This is the weekly Health Law News Nugget from Southern Health Lawyers. I'm Rich Sanders.
And this is the Health Law News Nugget for September 11th, 2018. Well, the opioid epidemic is back in the news this past week, with the Washington Post running an article on September 8th discussing how the state of Colorado has sued a company called Purdue Pharma, which manufactures OxyContin, and had numerous mentions of the family that owns Purdue Pharma, called the Sackler family, and how they're not only under increasing scrutiny for their contributions to the opioid epidemic around the country, including this lawsuit from the Attorney General in Colorado, but now increasingly criticized for developing a drug that helps people overcome their addiction to opioids. These drugs, including one commonly known as Suboxone, are being used to treat folks to help them get over their opioid epidemic. But the Washington Post article, and the tone certainly of the Attorney General of Colorado's press release, is that Purdue Pharma and this Sackler family are in many ways significant contributors to the opioid epidemic in the first place. They're not the only ones getting accused of playing both sides of the opioid epidemic last week. The U.S. Attorney in the Western District of Pennsylvania had a press release issued last week talking about how a physician had pled guilty to multiple counts of prescribing medically unnecessary drugs, including Suboxone, to help folks over their opioid addiction. Meanwhile, same day, August 29th, that U.S. Attorney's counterpart in the Southern District of Ohio, really the center of the region that is in many ways in the grip of the opioid epidemic, including Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Kentucky. That this same day, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Ohio issued a press release stating that a physician and his wife had pled guilty to multiple counts of unlawful prescriptions without medical necessity, and in the case of the physician, one count of drug trafficking in violation of federal law, because they had ultimately been responsible for putting 4,000 false prescriptions into the system, and obviously contributing to the opioid epidemic in their part of the world. So, once again, this theme that we've seen in the news nugget all year in 2018 continues, that the opioid epidemic increases its grip, but likewise law enforcement, and in particular the Department of Justice, is taking strong action to go after physicians, and in some cases state attorney generals going after manufacturers of opioids to try and address this national problem that has certainly, if not developed, then certainly grown worse since September 11th of 2001. So take a moment to think about those that died in that unfortunate day, September 11th, 2001, and enjoy the rest of your Patriot Day. I'm Rich Sanders with Southern Health Lawyers. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next week.